I think exciting time today because the Alvanix app version 1.2 is crazy in terms of um, how many new updates are there. So maybe let me share my screen. um, oh, geez. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Um, yeah.
Kevin board.
Yeah, Kevin board.
Yeah. So I'll show you the website as well. But let's just walk through this flow, right? So that everyone understands what to do the moment you get in. So there are two types of users as we classify it. The existing user is basically someone who has already bought L1X coins, and they will always have a priority over the new users. So that's why we have segregated out as well. Now, once you get in, you go to the homepage. We have a status tracker as well. So I'll show you that as well. But we have a status tracker where the moment you connect your X wallet, you will be able to see where you are in the process of data sanitization, Xperk, and Node NFT on the home screen itself. And this is where the rate limiting is set. So what's going to happen is if there are 100 people given out, the moment you go in, you have the most updated wallet. Make sure that you always refresh your page, right? Once you connect the wallet, just refresh. It's a good habit of doing it. Just clear out the flush. You refresh your page, and when you connect the X wallet, after that, what's going to happen is you are in that particular slot. So if someone has missed out, I mean, 101, please, you'll have to wait for that next session. Yeah. So, okay, once you do that, you will automatically be redirected to the data sanitization page. So, in the data sanitization, basically, what we have done is the version 1 and version 2. So, the version 2 is the POX version. Um, we have allocated the coins that we have aggregated in terms of where all you must have invested for airdrop, referrals, and we have aggregated all of that for you into the version 2 database that we feel is correct based on all the sources. So you will have two different tables: the actual table and the one that you have available. So the actual is the version 2. If you think that everything is good, I don't see any discrepancy between my balance, you can go ahead. But if you do think there is a discrepancy, then you can raise a ticket. Now, once you do that, you go to the expert. Now, I believe many of you have, a certain L1X coins, but let's say there are two situations there. You have, after the expert vesting, you have enough to opt, meaning, okay, perfect, I've got enough, I don't need to buy more. You opt for the node and done. You get the node ID, and that node ID is going to be used to host the node. After that, let's say you go into expert and you still, see that I need to top up, I don't have enough balance. Once you vest it, only then you have to go to the top up feature. So let's say you have 3000 L1X coin. Now you need to get 5000 to get the event listener node. So you need to make sure you buy 2000 more. So when you buy 2000 more, that's the top up over here. You buy it with MetaMask, but once you top up, you go back to your vesting and make sure that you vest into the platinum or gold, whichever vesting you had to do, because this top up has to go back through the vesting and into the node opting screen. So there are twice where you will be in the vesting screen. One is in the first flow, and after is when you top up. Now, for the new users, it's pretty straightforward over here, but I'm sorry because the existing users are going to get a priority. So try your own luck. New user goes in, he goes to the buyer node direct page, buy with MetaMask, and node issued and platinum vesting registered. So you don't have to go through the vesting and stuff because um, only the existing users will be a part of the expert club. So the new users are not a part of the expert club because we are automatically registering them for platinum. So they might miss out on certain benefits. So that's that. Now let me share the screen and show you the website itself. Um, okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is what the updated home screen looks like, right? And we have the connect wallet over here, so I have not connected anything. That's good. Please do not go on this link, because if you go on this link, there is a problem. If you go to that link and try the expert, your wallet will go under the blacklist section, because a lot of developers have gone in and registered there. But we will be updating this link to l1xapp.com, and whichever wallets were connected to this link will not have access to l1xapp.com. That's because of safety, because if the developers try to do something with their wallets. Yeah. All right. So we've got different sections here. You can connect wallet. You've got your favorites over here. Now, the data sanitization, the expert, and buy node. So what's going to happen is, once you connect your wallet, based on this, it will track it for you. So if I go to the X wallet over here, you go to connect wallet, and then you connect it from here, and then I sign in. The moment I signed in, I reached at this particular screen. Yeah. So what will happen is, this is the data sanitization. Now, because I have completed it, it shows me this, right? So the next step is expert vesting. So we are updating the website, so there could be some hiccups here. But anyways, let me try. Yeah, as I said, right? So anyways, once you go through this, you'll see the balance over here, and then you go and decide to vest, right? There you go, connect X wallet. Okay. I decide over here, I enter this 100 amount, right? Select any one that you want. Only public sale guys will see the opt out feature, but no bonus coins and 4 month vesting here. So, anyways, I go to the public sale, I go to platinum 100. My vest, right? Yeah. Anyways, please wait. And there will be twice where you will have to wait, which is transaction is being processed, is the first one. Now, what has happened is, okay, it's successfully staked. There were times where the nodes were bombarded with with actions. So what we have done is, your transaction will be held in a queue, and it will be processed, because there are multiple nodes running now, right? So you might need to wait for a few seconds. Now, you will have to again wait for like 60 seconds once you finished your first expert. So if you are going to vest, make sure that you go maximum in all of them. Like, don't like go 110, right? You go maximum in all of them, because you're going to wait for 4 minutes otherwise, if you do 4 transactions. The longer you wait here, the the later you are going to get to the node NFTs page. But that being said, please take your time to understand this rewards section. All right. So you do that, and then in the portfolio screen, you'll be able to see the vesting. Yeah. So once you see this vesting in the portfolio screen over here, if you go back to this one, node NFT, right? There is a guide over here, but go to the calculator. Now, this calculator, you can use it to start calculating the rewards, how much you're going to get. You go to event listener as well, you can calculate that. You go to event listener, you do plus. Now, what will happen is, you have the L1X balance with expert, right? Now, additional L1X required. This means that there is 5,000 that you need, right? Which will change to 4,800. We are making an update. Now, but if you see in the amount, it's $2,400, meaning I have $200 vested through expert. I need to buy $2,400 worth more. So I will have to buy with MetaMask over here, right? Now, if I do go and let's say stake more, let's stake. You will be able to go in there, stake more, and if you have, as I mentioned through the diagram, if you have already got it, in the portfolio. Okay, I've already got it here. I go to Node NFT. See, I got 10,200. Now, I can go to event listener and put one. I only need 4,000. I only need 5,000 actually, and I've got 10,200. I can put my node ownership address. Now, what is this node ownership address? This is my address of the X wallet, right? So I can copy from here, or it is all automatically going to do it for you. You get that, and you click get a node, right? You submit the transaction, and you'll get your node. Once you get your node, yeah, done. Once you get your node, there you go. This is your NFT ID. This is your ID associated with the wallet address over here. So you got one of them, right? I still have 5,200 more. So let's say I go again. I try to get another node and I submit.
Is this real, Kevin? Have you just got your first node?
Oh, no. So it's all going to be reset. That's the thing. So this link and all these wallet addresses, right? They are all going to be reset when it goes to l1xapp.com. I will have to go and buy it.
Yeah.
So I bought it over here. Yeah, you see, you got your two nodes. It's that simple. Now, if you have a problem anywhere, like let's say, I can't connect my X wallet, I have a transaction failure somewhere. If you have any hiccups anywhere, don't panic. All right, relax it out. You see this yellow icon below, help. You click on that, right? It takes you to this page. You select where you are. So let's say you're in claim, you're in data sanitization, you're in expert, you're in node sales, right? Now let's say you're in experts over here and wallet connection issue, or portfolio not updated or anything. If it's other issue, you click on that and generate a ticket. Enter your email, first, last name, wallet address, issue or transaction link if you have it, a screenshot, and write us about that problem and submit the ticket from here. So what will happen is at least we know, where you are stuck. Because if you are really having a problem and you can't do it, we might do a video call with you and screen share and try to solve that problem, depending on the availability of the developers, right? Now, that's the assistance module over here. So I go in, I log out. Please make sure that you have the version 1.0.12 available. And very important, click on the version 2. Click on this version 2 whenever you are interacting with the experts or anything. Switch from version 1 to version 2 over here before interacting. Now, if I go to the experts, right, see, it is going to tell me, please make sure you are on version 2 in X wallet to West. I need to make sure of that, minimize, and you start your process over here. So it's very simple. You connect the wallet, you go through the data sanitization, you go through the expert, and you go through the node NFT, right? If anyone has problems, please raise a ticket. The first 100 people, I hope so. I hope you guys get the opportunity to go through this. But yeah, look, we don't. The the thing is, like, I was speaking to one of the Discord person today, the community member, and I was explaining the updates that are there on the L1X app version 2. It's humongous because even the portfolio has been updated. So all the portfolio is also updated here. Right. You see, there you go, my usernames.
There are all your usernames. Quick screenshot.
Yeah. Single staking rewards. Yeah. So in order to do the expert and node NFT, okay. Now there's one thing I need to mention here. See, you have version 1 and version 2, right? In the version 1 is basically all your l1xapp.com that you currently see. But if you change to version 2, it will show you all the version 2 related updates. So, your balancer pool rewards, the L1X foundation for Xperk and Node NFT, and your L1X purchases, right? So if you see, yeah. purchased over here. But yeah, um, so the portfolio also has version 1, version 2. So keep in mind on the wallet that you always keep it to version 2. No need to keep it on version 1. Your wallet always put it on version 2 and take it from there. Right? Yeah. So yeah, hopefully very soon we'll release this. We found a few bugs here and there, and the last time I wasn't handling experts myself. It was someone else. I don't want to tell you the name, but it was someone else doing the tech, and a lot of things went wrong because I was focusing on the Xstock infrastructure. They were doing the expert, but this time because I'm focusing on expert, I can't focus on the consensus more. So at least by the end of this week, my intention is to solve all the bugs out if there are, so I can move on to consensus next week and the node hosting. Because next week I'm going to do an AMA on hosting nodes. So how to host your nodes from start to end. Actually, I will do it. We'll start fresh. We'll opt for a VPS. We'll go through the payment process, everything, and we'll host a node.
I was gonna say, Kevin, do we get the alpha for the nodes? Right, we get the go ahead, right? Go buy your nodes. It's now live, but there's 73 people, and they'll all be gone.
I think today while I was speaking to the person in the community, the reason I'm excited about the node is this, right? If you think about it, 1600 nodes in total. And if you look at the full validator node staked amount, the voting power is always going to be higher. But of course, without the event listener nodes, you cannot vote. But these are going to be the people who are going to decide protocol updates and upgrades, and if we need to increase the number from 1600 to further. So if the node owners don't come together and vote and say that we don't want to increase it more, it doesn't happen, right? So it's very exciting because there's a lot of power behind this node NFT, and I realized that pretty late. Um, it's giving away the power away. I mean, power meaning decision making, what is right for the community, right? So it's very powerful, this node NFT, because what if there are only 1600 for the next 3 years or 2 years, right? For example. Um, and what if they decide that even if there are more node NFTs, the people who currently have node NFTs get the right to buy it first, right? So there are multiple ways to increase it while still maintaining the ownership level. So we need to make sure that, um, yeah, it falls under the right hands, and that's why we have limited to 5 per, and 5 is a huge number. I think that's like what 0.6% or something
Yeah,
voting power.
I was saying just before you came in, like if you think about like if L1X does become like the gas of Web3 eventually, and it becomes this top 10 blockchain, for instance, can you imagine being just one of the 800 FVN nodes? I mean, that's insane in itself, isn't it? So, I mean, to have 5, but I mean, just to have one. You think how many people are going to be using L1X in like a year, 2 years from now? I mean, you don't realize how special it is just to have one node.
Yeah, and it's like having one node is equal to, I think, 0.12% voting power on the protocol. So that's pretty good, I mean, it shouldn't be more than that anyways. Because even if you have like 1%, that's a lot,
Yeah.
you know,
Is the
to
voting
influence
is the voting going to be done through like a DAO, or is it going to be something like integrated into the L1X app?
through the DAO. So we are going to work on that. The moment, so next week I have two important tasks. One is the node hosting to be up and going, and also what is the other one? The fee structure. So because April onwards, people will start paying the fees. Now, in the Oracle system or the event listener nodes, Xtalk, there are two types of fees. I'll go through it on Friday, but there is like a maintenance fee and then there is like a usage fee. And on the full validator nodes as well, there is an intricate fee system. So If you think about Chainlink or Layer Zero, these guys have like Layer Zero's got like four different fees they charge. And I'm not even joking. Like one transaction on Layer Zero could eventually even cost you like $1. So, or Chainlink hosting your own nodes, and doing it may cost you like $1. So even if the event listener node guys decide like, okay, I'm going to let the information come in for like 10 cents a transaction or 5 cents a transaction. Now, where is 5 cents a transaction versus full validator node 0.1 cent?
Yeah.
So even though block rewards are higher on FVN, ELN have are like the underdogs. They got, if they perform well, they get to make maybe more money than FVNs. Who knows?
Ah, so it's worth getting an ELN as well then.
I wouldn't say get disheartened if you don't have an FVN. You have an ELN. I don't think there is a need to get disheartened because today I spoke to two important companies in this space. One company does analysis and provides analytics behind staking. They are the number one. 3 million website visits, and they want to actually provide multi-chain staking. So I mentioned, why don't you just build the tech on l1xapp.com, right? And the second people we spoke to are the people who host node infrastructures and let other people actually, stake. They are the second biggest node infrastructure on blockchain. So more than $4 billion staked in there. Now, the problem is they if you have the node NFT, there are two things you can do with it. Either you can lease it or you can sell it. Now, if you lease it, fair enough. If you sell it, these kind of node infrastructure companies, when I had a discussion with them, so I said there are 800 full. They didn't want the event listener nodes because the block rewards are lower, and it may take time for them to build that revenue structure up. I said, fair enough. I don't think you'll even get it. But anyways, with FVN, these guys looked at the numbers and they said that I understand because with taking the risk of hosting with other protocols, the problem is you got to be on the bullish run to make money on that. But if you are on the bullish run to make money on node hosting, you sell the coins. Many people unstake it, right? So these guys wanted, they want a chunk of it. Like it's a big chunk. Now there is only a maximum of five we can give. So I would say the marketplace for the nodes has to come up as well soon.
Yeah.
So that's where
Well,
I will also work on it next month.
right. So you think there's going to be a huge demand for the nodes themselves on the marketplace as soon as they're available? So you'll probably get people flipping on them, won't you? They buy 5 and probably
And
sell some.
I'll tell you what. Tomorrow I've got a call with Casper from Red Curry. Diga Labs thing is completed. The balancer pool is done. The L1 Dex guys are also building, right? We have 3 to 4 more companies using the documentations and building up. Now, once we release the new version of the developer docs, where you know it's going to be it's going to have, like, if you take the complexity of the current docs, if it's 8, we are reducing it down to 2. On an average, let's say there are 2 applications being built every month. Just do that, right? Just 2 applications, decent transactions, right? You multiply that in 6 months. There are 10 applications. Let's say only 10 applications are built, and currently we have 3 or 4. So total 15 applications in 12 months. In these 15 applications, the power is two things. One is you are going to show the market, if you're using Chainlink and if you're using Layer Zero, what not using them looks like, right? Because someone has to show the other guys what it looks like, yeah? And number two is the L1X app infrastructure. When these people start building on L1X app as well and integrate their tech or a certain product into it, we only need 15 solid applications to build with us to demonstrate it to everyone. Now, if there are 15 applications being built and looking at the tokenomics, the price should be healthy. But even if it is not so healthy in like 6 months, 8 months, once this demonstration happens to other people and the other people see, okay, I get it how you can replace Chainlink, Layer Zero, any other layer ones as well. And when they start building, that is the time that thing takes off for the node as well. Because Solana didn't reach $200 on day one.
Yeah.
It took them time. But in our case, we have two things going on for ourselves: node NFTs, which are limited. So not everyone can go in and start hosting a node. That increases the value of the node NFT itself. But number two is the demonstration aspect of it. Like today, when I showed them the balancer pool demonstration, he couldn't believe his fucking eyes. Sorry for my language, but yeah, he couldn't believe it. Right? So they just have to see it. And when I get on these calls with these guys and explain to them, they say, "Oh, we were thinking with layer zero." And when I explain to him why we are better, they get it.
Yeah.
So it's just this catapulting effect that has to be created.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? No one sees it. No one believes it until they see it. Once they can see it,
I am pretty bullish on it. Like I have no doubts that it's going to do well after the TGE as well, or even 6 months down the line in TGE, because we're not going to stop until it does well, right?
Kevin, when you're talking and you can't contain your smile, that does it for me.
There is one more person I'm speaking to. I want to bring him on the advisory board, on the in either in the board or in the council, foundation council. Um, Put it this way: these guys have one of the biggest node infrastructures in blockchain. I won't tell you who are they or what's their name. I can't, unfortunately, but I'm trying to speak to them. And
I'll Google it.
they've raised around $50 million. They've raised around $50 million. I think 2 3 years ago.
Not
On
ours.
the internet, it shows that they raised $4 billion. No, $5 billion. I think so. But yeah. Anyways, I'll leave it to that.
Google. I don't want to do anything because I don't want to
Yeah.
disrupt the connection. I don't want it to go off. So
If you
with
Yeah.
don't
Look,
mind,
I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
don't mind, I would like to ask a question in that line of thinking from before. You said
Yeah.
about earlier today, about 12 hours ago, that from today you are going to become just a community member, not the boss, even though it says that on your shirt. But everything will be up to the node operators. So I was thinking back to Ethereum upgrade, like they are changing their entire consensus from proof of work to hybrid. If you do feel the need to make some kind of update like that in the future to L1X, will you need that means the explicit permission from node operators? And do you think Vitalik Buterin needed that?
Um, Two things, right? First of all, I'm using this T-shirt from the last 1 year, and I'm wearing this from the last 4 days. So I don't know if you really think this is a box T-shirt, but anyways, number two, um, if you consider the fact that the DAO and the node operators will have the decision-making power in protocol upgrades, right? Then when I say that today onwards I'm a community member and the other guys out there are going to have control over it, right? When that DAO is established, right, even the ability to actually look at the structure of what the DAO does and the decision making authority, the node operators have to vote in that we accept this DAO. So I can only propose the DAO. You see what I'm saying? If they do not accept this, that means that DAO doesn't come into effect. So from now on, I understand that there are upgrades required and there are decision making things required, but I feel, and in all my companies, I feel I don't need majority to prove that this has to be done. If I put up a valid point and I think that this is a good point for the overall benefit of the community, then I don't see a reason why the node operators will not agree to it.
I think if you've taken it to where it is, I think your opinion it'd have some weight behind it for people making decisions.
And one day, everyone, like, you look at all the layer one founders, right? Vitalik was never in the foundation in the first place because he didn't write a single line of code. But Gavin Wood, for example, right? He's done amazing contribution to Web3, like EVM systems, Polkadot parachains, and these guys definitely have a lot to say about Web3. But the ultimate decisions now are being made by the community, right? In a way, if you think about it, the voting system. But at the same time, I feel it gives me a little bit of comfort because I'm going to push this for the next months so that making sure that the DAO structure is correctly set up as well. But I didn't seriously have the time to go on stages and do the speaking about it. The only program I went to was either we went to those L1X stores in Dubai and stuff, or this last year in Melbourne, right? So I feel that I would love to go over like everywhere and explain about this technology.
Is that what you plan on doing, Kevin? Once it's gone live, like to go to some of these events.
Yeah. So this person that I'm speaking to, who I want to bring onto the advisory board, has connections with Qcoin, Kraken, Binance. Some good connections, and I might have to give away a lot of my coins. So we're not touching the advisory. So I might have to give away my coins for it. That could mean a significant portion of it. I'm talking 25-30% of whatever I own, and I'm willing to do that. Because if we can get major exchanges, it is going to benefit the community. Because at the end of the day, I want to go out there and be a spokesperson because I have 90 million coins in total, right? I can live with even 5 million coins. Like I don't need 90 million. If I have 5 million coins and if the value is like $100, I'm done. Or even $10. I don't care. As long as this delegation of authority is going to start now, so that they have to take over this responsibility thing. And that's what I want to talk about, the vision of the protocol, and I want to make sure that the people who are delegated the work keep doing it now.
Yeah, or putting like the community, putting the community above everything else.
We have always, like, if you look at any decision, right, we have always thought about the community. I've been wrong, I think, more than I've been right. But when I started this in 2021, it was in a small room by myself thinking, how do I do this, while I was building Revolti and trying to list it on the ASX. I didn't have anyone where, here you go, $10 million, go and build, right? 100 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, 50 grand, 200 grand, 200 grand. That's how I built, raised it, and still we were two people. January last year is when we started going hard at it. So it was, if, like, I'm not saying that I'm not logical, I'm logical, but a logical person would have already quitted. It was so hard. It's so hard. You're trying to explain to someone about this infrastructure, and they're in their mind, it comes like, I'm sorry for my language, but they're like, who the fuck do you think you are? To do something like this, which has not been done before, right?
They probably think you're punching above
So
your
I think
weight.
that was crazy, because when I demonstrated the first time, they in the private cell and the before as well, here you go, 500 grand, here you go, $1 million, right? But I definitely believe that our traction, there are multiple things that go under the traction, and the problem is, like, I have very little time to focus on like all these components. The biggest challenge I've had is, like, if I could copy paste myself in operations and marketing, right? So one Kevin for development, one Kevin for the operations marketing team is doing great. But sometimes what happens, it's not their fault. Sometimes it's like, because I'm in this rush of certain things, miscommunication can happen, right? So where I say myself in ops and marketing, I mean a person who knows the same vision, both the places, right? So that's what I mean.
Yeah, so they're basically pushing out your kind of narrative, where sometimes they might not be pushing out exactly what your vision is or how you want it put out there.
I think with the resources we have, right, I don't think there is any other team that could have achieved what they've done, first of all. But at the same time, um, this is such a new technology where even, it's like explaining the internet before the internet, right? Like one day you'll be able to update your WhatsApp story. Like, what does that even mean? So it's sometimes it's that situation. But the good thing is, and I think all the projects can relate to this, whichever projects I have spoken to onboard, right, I have at least a 95% success rate. Yeah, I don't remember any project I've spoken to has not come on board. But it involves me getting on that call and going through that process with them to make them understand, like, what you're doing is wrong. This
Yeah.
is the way you should do it.
I think the thing is you're probably the one person that can sell it because you understand the tech because you created it. If you're speaking to anyone with any developer skills, you can literally talk their language, can't you?
Yeah, but at the same time, right, there are only three fundamentals that I kind of believe in, which is grow your customers, increase your customers, retain and engage, and differentiate yourself, right? Web3, Web2 doesn't matter, right? You're looking for a partner. These are the three. I don't know, grow, but at least retain and differentiate. But anyways, even in Web3, when let's give an example of red curry, right? When they were talking about it, all I had was 3 lines of information about them. I went and prepared the flowchart. I got on a call, and Casper can probably confirm this as well. I asked him how it works, and I showed him the flowchart. It was exactly how it worked. And then I had another flowchart showing him this is how it should work. So when they see that, that's when they get the confidence, like, okay, these people know what they are doing.
So that's just one red curry. I mean, but that of all the projects you've spoke to, like you said, you need a clone. You need a clone so you can just go and speak to all these different projects. Because once you've got that call, once you've been in there, then they're just gonna be jumping on board straight away. Clone
Yeah,
quicker.
and it's it's hard because the core is there, and the L1X app, right? I wasn't wanting to build it, but we had no choice. Like, if you think about it, how are we demonstrating all this technology right now? It's through L1X app, right? The validity, the validation in the market. So I definitely know that maybe in Web3 the problem is like validation takes time because people want to know, are you real or not as well. And if you're claiming all these big things, they kind of like super doubt you then. So these projects which we are building, every month I want to make sure there are 2 projects launching. Right. Today also we had a call with Diga Labs. The integration is being completed and the game will be released as well soon. Probably in 2 weeks, I think the game should be out. Um, as I said previously, before launch, Diga Lab should be ready. But every month, 2 projects, 2 projects, 2 projects, and it's going to build up. And in 6 months down the line, you'll see that someone has picked it up and and the wheels have started going into it. It somewhere down there is a Ruby. I don't know where that Ruby is, but I know that it will be there somewhere. So I'm just going through it.
Well, as the ecosystem grows out, like you add one project, you add another. By the time you've got to like 5, 10 different projects, the network effect just from them alone and just their contacts that they speak to, because everyone's connected. Everyone in this space is connected to somebody else. So if they can showcase their project on L1X and give access to all this TVL they've now got access to, it's not going to take long, is it, for more projects to then be like jumping on the bandwagon and like getting connected to L1X?
Yeah, because you think about it, right? One thing, which is when you compare layer ones to build on, right? You take layer 1X. Okay, let me give you a simple use case. Let's say there is an application a Web3 app wants to build. Okay, you build on Binance and you build on Polygon. Can you tell me one point of difference between both of them? It's hard, right? Yeah. Now, okay, you build with Binance. Now you want to go multi-chain. Now what do you compare with? You'll say, okay, now I've got layer zero, I've got Chainlink, I've got Squid router, I've got Y. But very soon the question will be, I don't want to build, I want to be multi-chain, and then you decide, right? Meaning, right now multi-chain thing is an optional subject for you. It's not recommended. Yeah. But the optional is going to become recommended in the next few, I don't know when, but very soon. And when that happens, there is no other competition.
Yeah. Because like right now, if you want to be multi-chain, you either got to use a bridge or you've got to dilute your liquidity or find more liquidity to put on different chains. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You want to be multi-chain, so it's just right. Okay, we'll just build on layer 1x. Then we can think how we target these other chains.
It's like the scenario where one statement, one policy from the government or one enterprise going after interoperability has to go out, but then people look at what is the comparison. Like, why am I investing in Polygon versus Binance? I don't know. Versus Avalanche, I don't know. But if I want to invest into an interoperable protocol, which one is it? There is no competition, and if there is no competition, it's always going to be a hard market in the start. I know that. But once you start seeping in, it's going to be so difficult for the other guys to even catch up.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the reason why it's hard as well, because all the money and all these big influencers that are in this space, and like everyone that has got a say in what happens, they've all invested in these other projects. So they've got an invested interest to all these other blockchains. Like they banging on about Chainlink, banging on about Solana. All of a sudden, Layer 1x becomes the talk of the town. Well, it's like, well, holy shit, I haven't got any Layer 1x, and I don't want my other projects to go down in value.
And right now, like, because the token is not tradable, right? You're missing out on like 98% of the market, if you think about it. Because once the token is tradable and people see it on any of the, like, I was looking at like one of the project that we didn't onboard because they had some very funny requirements. But anyways, I looked at their token and they don't even have a product, but they have the token trading. I was like, this is amazing how it works. But it's funny. And they've got like $100,000 in trading volume, and I couldn't just understand what is going on. It amazed me because I was there and they told me the product is not even built, but the coin is trading. So what's going on here, right? So, and I think these are the times where you understand, okay, but in my eyes, I don't think it's going to be a successful thing until I see Layer 1x at least in the top three.
Top three.
Like,
Kevin, do you know? Do you know what you're saying? Do you know what you're saying there? Do you know where you're saying the market? You made the top three. Holy crap!
If put it this way, if it falls below, like, starting off with like 20-25 million, I think that's what the initial MC is. But if you look at the top 10, I think the minimum to get in top 10 is $6 or $7 billion or something like that, or five or something. But the top three, you've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Binance, I guess, right? At 60-40. So to reach to a $40-50 billion valuation, our price of the coin has to be at least $50, right? I don't think that's hard. When I say it's not hard, meaning it's extremely hard, but it's not impossible. Because in our case, you think about it this way. In our case, we are not like the Aurora or Moonbeam kind of people. If the wave comes through, it will lift it up. So the probability is there because there is no competition. But the wave has to come, right? And that wave for interoperability, even today in the market, everybody speaks about interoperability, but many people don't understand even what that even means.
Yeah.
So We are in such a brand new territory, and when these people understand what it means now,
Well,
then you start going up.
yeah, I mean, interoperability right now, it's like it's the narrative what everyone's talking about, but doesn't really exist to most people because they don't know about layer 1x, do they? Like they're thinking about
Yeah,
squid router or layer 0.
a lot of these layer zero money, as I was looking at that, and it came from the Almeida research.
Oh yeah.
So if you go to layer zero investors, you look at Almeida research. Now, how many of that is going in and out for them? We don't know,
Yeah.
right? But our swaps have increased 800% in the last, compared to last 4 weeks, and now it's like 800 to 1,000% increment. So something is working.
Yeah, well, I was looking on Coin Market
Yeah.
Cap, and like the top 5 are like $78 billion market cap is Solana, and then XRP is like sixth place at 32 billion. So yeah, to get the number
Wow.
6 spot, there'd be $32 billion market cap. So if that wave comes, which I think it's gonna come, like you said, we'll be riding it right to the top.
Yeah, it's like, I'll just give you one small example, right? If you get one announcement and one partnership, which actually means something, right? Partnership should result into utility. For example, I'll give you one small example. In Australia, you've got RSC, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's using RSC, right? Every household has RSC. If RSC decides, let's use layer 1x to build identity solutions, right? Just by doing that and putting a whole country on the infrastructure of layer 1x through identification,
Yeah.
you could reserve top 10 spots.
Are you trying to tell us something in code there, Kevin?
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying you can reserve the top. I'm not saying you're going to get there, but you could reserve it because you're talking about a whole country's infrastructure for insurance on a protocol.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's like the partnership we've got with OnChain now, isn't it? If you think about it, like that's starting out with Istanbul, but if that is a success and that gets rolled out countrywide for Turkey, then that becomes like a use case, then that which can carry on to other countries. I mean, that in itself is huge. 15 million people to start off with.
Yeah.
And then you get the
we've
whole
got
of Turkey.
we've got a written agreement with them, and the OnChain guys. What happens is it's very bureaucratic, right? You gotta go back. Okay, what do you think of this? Come back. What do you think of this? Come back. What do you think of this? Come back. So it takes a lot of cycles to reach to from point A to point B. You go from A to A.1, point 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, then you come to B. So that process is going on now. But after this launch, right, as I go hard into just applications to be deployed, revamp the developer SDK, we will make sure that on-chain also finishes early and those 15 million people are also on the chain. But spinning up at least 2 of them every month. That would be my goal from May onwards.
Yeah. And if it gets the network effect, that could expedite even quicker, and more projects could be coming on board.
Yeah, like the Lotto West lottery ticket system on the blockchain. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, Australians are obsessed with the lottery.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I go to the news
Yeah.
agents, they're buying like $50 at a time.
Yeah, there are people thinking about numbers when they're buying it.
Yeah.
So they're dedicated people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yes,
you don't.
good.
That's the thing, isn't it?
All
Like,
right.
you don't
Yeah.
think of that. You don't really think of a lot
Yeah.
of the Web 2 applications, but that's where L1X is a bit different, isn't it? There's so many Web 2 applications where you can integrate.
It's the only thing I'll tell you that I think there are two important things missing, right? One is an optimized developer SDK documentation, which I am already working on it, which is in my control, so I can finish it. The second one is two important announcement worthy things. And what I mean by that is either a strategic partnership to onboard some big person or client, and number two is some spokesperson picks it up and understands the utility and starts pushing the utility,
Yeah.
right? And it can be either one that can do the job. But when the SDK will be released, but when that happens, it's like my grandfather used to always tell me when I used to get upset with certain things. It's like you got to be on that pitch to hit that six. A loose ball will come and you will hit that six. But if you're not on the pitch, you're not going to do it. So I think that loose ball will come and it'll come soon. And that adoption will go crazy. It's like a hockey curve.
Gotta be on
That's
the
only
pitch.
missing. What else is missing?
Nothing.
Yeah. What else is there too? Yeah, exactly.
Just need that sport. Just need that one sport person, that's got the audience that's there, where people listen.
Yeah, or the utility, right? Some business like partnership and backing it up, because it really makes a lot of sense using the Xtalk infrastructure. Like that is an amazing system. Like the Xtalk infrastructure is amazingly built. You can build so many things with it, right? Um, just one use case and one spokes like a little bit of audience. Like if we can reach out to 100 million people at once, right? I think those kind of audience.
Just 100 million.
Just reach out to 100 million and they will do the job for you.
Well, let's make it happen.
Yep. All right, good. That was good. So I'll go back to my development now, and we'll make sure we release it. But please make sure that you have version 1.0.12 ready. Back up your private keys if you do not have it. Go to the wallet page, connect the X wallet, or you can do it from the home screen as well. Go to the data sanitization. Have any issues, raise a ticket. The ticket resolving time, please note at it's 48 hours, right? But we will try to do it as quick as possible. Yeah. If you don't have it, do the data sanitization, go through the experts. If you top up your balance, you got to go back through the experts, vest it, and come back to Node. Yeah. And you opt in for the node. You have any hiccups, raise the ticket. If you have bought a node and if you're vested in experts, and we can see that there was a transaction because we have the logs. We can see that there was a transaction, and if anything failed, we will try to keep that node reserved for you. Right? We will know if you tried to buy it, and if it failed, we will have a log for it. Right? I can't promise for ELN because ELNs will be. It was out even the last time, right? And now that it has come down to half, I'm pretty sure that ELNs will go quick. But for FVNs, I think FVNs may take a bit of time to go. I'm not sure because the last time we had 400, 85 of them went. I think so, or 100 of them went. So 300 was still there. So even if you double that up, that's like 170. So that 200, around 600 will still be there. So FVNs, I think you have a higher probability.
Kevin, there's 80 people in this space. I think after this call, them FBNs will probably be gone the second that it opens.
Yeah, I see. Let's see. Let's hope it goes. I just want to make sure that the node hosting is done correctly and we have enough infrastructure to make sure the transactions are going to be done.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad I recorded. Good. I'm glad I recorded it. But Kevin, I'm just thinking, right, the recording. Do you want the your usernames blanked out because you might not have wanted to reveal those?
The username? No, it's okay. You can. I don't mind. I mean, I have nothing to hide.
No, so, I just thought you might want to keep them private.
Nah, it's okay. Fine. You can show it to people. I have nothing to hide. I fear nothing and no one, so it's okay.
Awesome. I've got to head to bed. It's like 11:30 for me, and I've got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
All right. I think I still got a few more hours to go. I haven't. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but it's almost 20 hours I haven't, and 24 hours I wouldn't be sleeping. But I sleep on the weekend, Sunday.
Yeah, you burn the candle at both ends.
Yeah. Got to make sure that all the tickets are resolved, right?
Right. Catch you later, Kevin.
All good. Thanks, guys. It was
Bye.
nice being here. Thank you so much. Bye.